Hi everyone. Yes, I'm Aurélie and I'm going to tell you a bit more about my organization, Access to Nutrition Initiative, and the way we currently conduct product profiling. And I have a little thingy here, okay. Okay, so Access to Nutrition Initiative. We are a non-profit organization. We fully independent. We do not get any money from the industry. Most of our funding comes from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in the UK and from few philanthropies, including Rockefeller, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. We were funded in 2013, and we rely on an independent board and an independent expert group. So that's just what I said. And behind that is a team of about 25 people. We're mostly located in the Netherlands, but we have a few consultants all around the world. So a bit more about what we believe in first, our vision. So we believe in a world where markets would provide access to nutritious and affordable diets for all. And of course, the end outcome that we want to reach is good health outcomes, so optimal physical and mental development for all. How do we do that? We have 3 main pillars, as you can see here. So the first one is around tools and indexes to assess markets. So the main one we have is called the Global Index for Nutrition. And there we look at top food and beverage manufacturers in the world. So the top 25 food and beverage manufacturers by sales. You would know most of them. I'll show you a few logos, but yeah, Coca-Cola is there, Nestlé is there, all the big guys. So we assess them based on a few things. We look at publicly available data, and we also engage with companies. They're able to share data under non-disclosure agreements. We assess them based on product. So I'll tell you a bit more about the product healthiness aspect, but also about governance, about what they do on labeling, what they do for their workforce. And marketing is a big one. That's a topic I've heard many times. We look at responsible marketing. One of the subtopics of that is how do these companies market their products to children. Beside the global index, we have a few thematic indexes. I think one that I've heard of a few times again is we look at breast milk substitute, so baby powders, if you'd like. We are moving towards more specialized, so if you want a bit up the value chain, we're looking at the procurement of vitamins. And yeah, we're also going into more countries. So country level, we're looking at Kenya and Tanzania currently. So that's kind of the tooling aspect. That's where we produce data. And the second pillar is around alliances to amplify impact. So we believe that in order to bring change to these food systems, you need to make sure your data is used by the right people to support the action. I've heard about policymakers a lot. We also work with consumer associations. And one that is a bit different that I haven't heard of today is investors. When you have a listed company, most of these big companies are listed, they're public companies. You also have an engagement between shareholders, investors, and in few cases, consumers. But basically what we do is that we help investors to understand our data and to put pressure on companies. We've had, for instance, Coca-Cola resolution, an investor resolution for Coca-Cola, and recently one on Nestlé, making use of our data. So it's, again, with the higher goal of improving food products. The last one is on thought leadership to influence markets. That's kind of where we put all the innovation aspects. We're working on a dashboard, for instance, now to help people consuming our data in a better way, in a more user-friendly way. And buzzword, of course, we're looking at AI. We're looking at building an AI research assistant that can help our team of researchers to navigate all these heavy sustainability reports and basically dive into the publicly available data of companies to better assess them. Okay, and maybe just one quick one there. It's a bit cut. But our strategic goal is to see by 2030, 50% of the company's sales derived from food and beverage being considered healthy. And that's where I take you to the next bit about, so again, those are the companies we assess, the topics that we assess, And then the big chunk of our work is around product healthiness. So here in the Open Food Fact community, we look mostly at Nutri-Score. In our case, we use a different nutrient profiling model, which is called Health Star Rating, which was created in Australia. We also look at the WHO Euro model. So there we look at products that are marketable or not to children. And it's a binary indicator, yes, no, basically. So what you can see here is for all these companies, the percentage of their products that are considered healthy or not. And another way we look at kind of the power of these companies is their healthy sales. So we look not only at the healthiness of the product itself, but the profit they generate from these products. Okay, so yeah, just to give you an idea, we had approximately in our 2021 edition, 40,000 products assessed, 25 markets. And the big issue we have is that our data is mostly coming from data providers, private data providers. At the time, FoodSwitch, which is a sub-service, if you want, of the George Institute of Health in Australia. And then companies do give data as well, but when they do so, they give it either freely, either under non-disclosure agreement, but they give it only for the purpose of the assessment, which of course is a lost opportunity. And then for sales data, we use Euromonitor data. So now looking a bit forward at what we're doing right now in 2024. We're assessing more companies, and we're also looking at more markets, including emerging markets. I think this exercise might be of interest for a few of you. There's more than 400 nutrient profiling models in the world. So if you want to build transparency and cohesion about how you define healthy and how you put pressure on companies to improve, you need common standards. So we started from there. We started from this observation that, there are too many ways to define healthy or not. And of course, companies will try to push you towards one model rather than the other to serve their own interests. So we conducted a huge consultation. I don't know if you're familiar with Delphi processes. Yeah? So there are ways to build consensus. So you take stakeholders from the policy world, from the private sector, from research, from every kind of groups you can think of. And you keep questioning, you keep asking them what's important, how do they define this and this and that. And after a few cycles of consultation, we came to the conclusion as a group that the three models were really important and relevant, and those are the Health Star Rating, Nutri-Score, and the UK nutrient profiling model, which looks mostly at saturated fat, sugar, and salt. So, in our next edition of the product profile, you will be able to find not only the HSR rating, but also Nutri-Score, again at portfolio level. We don't go to product level. And we might have also the UK NPM model at aggregate level. So yeah, that's again, that's a change, but that's also a way we are thinking about maybe making use in the future of the product, the Open Food Fact data. So coming here, a few questions came and emerged, of course. I think this one is the obvious one, is how can we stop relying on private data providers? It's a huge chunk of our budget, actually, purchasing data. When companies share data, can we repurpose this data? So I had a really good call already with Manon using the producer platform. But it's still very hard for us to kind of switch the dialogue towards companies and to convince them that, it's a public good. It can become a public good. So going further than the one-time assessment and encouraging them to provide data, but also quality data. We do spend a lot of time on cleaning and verifying data integrity. Besides that, and I would be very happy if you have ideas, please come in and share your suggestions. Besides that, we've also found a lot of common threads. One is around pricing. We want to answer a very simple question. We want to understand whether a product that is defined as not a product, because we look at aggregates, at aggregate level, whether healthy products within a given category are more affordable in a high-income country compared to a low-medium-income country, for instance? This is one of the research questions we have. What did I have as well? Yeah, I think another one that we couldn't push. We consulted companies and experts on, can we put the word ultra-processed food on our assessment? Can we use the NOVA classification? We got a massive pushback from the industry, saying that there's no consensus, that you need to wait, etc., the usual. But we already know that there's data on Open Food Fact on this topic, so I think that's an extremely interesting way for us to test already what's feasible or not with existing data, using the NOVA classification and yeah, exploring new topics. So thank you so much, and if you have any suggestion, any idea, please, I would be really happy to hear them. Thank you.